Welcome back as they're pulling a couple of the Jeeps out of the mile-o mud. There's a lot, you know, Steve, there's a lot of different tracks there. We've got the Magic Mile.
Yeah,
the
Monster Mile.
The Monster Mile. There's a lot of tracks that have special names like that are kind of hitting.
Well, this is the only place in the world you can go swamp buggy racing. They are building one over near the Orlando area. I was told just this afternoon they're supposed to have a rock concert arena and all kinds of things. It'll be interesting to see if it'll have that same kind of flavor, because there's nothing like really coming into the glades. And we were right on the edge of the Everglades, literally. In fact, today, and I recommend this if you're ever in Naples, the Swamp Buggy Bar and Grill. Was that some good grub or what?
It is good. Just don't get your directions from Evans. It took us a little bit longer than it was supposed to get there. Let's check in with Dave Burns, who's probably got pretty good directions.
Well, maybe. You know, when they build that new swamp buggy track, though, we're going to need directions there, and I bet they're going to want guys like Ernie McCormick to come in there, because Ernie is basically a rookie driver, but he did really well tonight, but he got knocked out. So your second time in the swamp, what do you think? You gain a little bit? You learn something?
Yeah, you do. It's an up and down thing. It's definitely part of racing, as they say. And, you know, we just keep chipping away at it and try to get better.
Yeah, well, Bambi, would you be quiet? I'm trying to do an interview here.
Maybe you're doing great. Don't even worry about it.
So, Ernie, anyway, did you change anything? Did you change anything on the buggy at all this time?
Dave, I think you better take care of the little lady. We'll see you later.
I love Dave Burns. Anyway,
You're really starting to make me mad, Bambi.
Why?
I couldn't even finish an interview here.
Well, you're good at it. What can I say? I'm crazy about you, Dave. Tell me you're crazy about me.
Speaking of going to the chapel, oh, Dave's in a little trouble there, brother. I guarantee you that.
I wonder if Butterscotch has still got those rings. He might be able to unload them here.
Well, you know, Dave's not the only one who's got marital problems right now. Our boy Butterscotch still struggling at the pay window.
Yes.
Well, as you can see, it's a big racing week here on TNN, and the 6 cylinders are out there. UFO returns, El Nino, and Terminator.
I would tell you, watch Terminator. That is Roy Ortega, a past king of the swamp, a one-time winner that came to the swamp. And this 6-cylinder buggy is as fast as most of the V8s.
UFO returns is out of it. El Nino still competing in this one with a chance for the win.
Boy, you are so right about how quick he is.
Terminator runs in second as El Nino leads this one.
Yeah, that's a surprise to me. Terminator Ortega did not get a particularly good start. And this is about the worst I've ever seen that buggy run, actually. After my big build-up, naturally. Ortega, you let me down.
Well, anything could happen in the swamp, so don't make it over till it's over.
Here comes El Nino blasting up the front straightaway.
Boy,
That motor's popping and hacking a little bit, too.
That guy's flying. Yeah, got a little water in the old ignition system.
Terminator's going to come across in second. And UFO returns, still struggling on the backstretch.
I mean, we talking struggling, too.
That's Pete Wiggy and El Nino. That's pretty clever. Well,
UFO returns.
Yep, tough day for Ortega, because only the winner will advance to, who knows, the intermediate feature, there's a lot of features.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how that all happens.
Yeah, and they handicap start them, and they don't handicap start them. So we just kind of hang around with the swamps and wait to see what happens, just like you do.
Well, let's check in with Dave Reef, who's down there.
I'm down with El Nino. Take a look here. Team Outlaw, that must be a Chester-built car. Brand new. Hey, it worked pretty dang good out there.
Yeah, brand new. Bogging a little bit, but it come on pretty strong.
It didn't bog too much at all. And speaking of bogging, let's go out and see what's going on at the party in the pits with Pamela.
Pamela Van Doren here with a party in the pit. And I'll tell you what, I've written a little song especially for this occasion. It's a swampy little thing called
I get flooded.
What do you think you're doing? Hey, nobody wants to hear you sing. You're supposed to be down there doing some uplifting stories on these drivers, some human interest stories, not trying to be some rock star. How long have you been at TV anyway? About 2 minutes? You think you know what you're doing? Well, you don't. You're going to have to change. And something else, young lady, you're about to have some trouble, a lot of trouble, in the form of Larry Knudsen. Trouble, T-R-O-U-B-L-E. And you guys behind the camera, you stink too. You're pretty pathetic. I don't care for what you're doing at all. Y'all not giving me any good shots, any angles, none of that stuff. I got a 3-year-old that could give me a better footage with a home video camera. Don't.
You want some more of this, buddy? Huh, big boy? Huh? Who's got trouble now, huh? You got trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for Pamela Van Doren. Sure.
That's good, darling. You don't have to take that from him.
The return of El Kabong. Does anybody remember the cartoon character El? Well, that's La Kabong. Wow. I love that girl.
I would love to take my shot, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted one swing. Let's have another look at that. This is a replay I want to see.
Me too.
That's a pretty long swing, too.
Yeah.
Look at that. She's got some form dreams. Maybe she's been hanging around the spring training camps down here in Florida.
Yeah.
She got pretty good form.
She got his attention.
Yeah, the Devil Rays better sign her up.
That witch of the swamp is here. Ain't that my man J. Claude now? We might get some info from him coming right here.
You know, Steve, I'm not so sure that you would have a clue what was going on had we told you before.
Some sort of an idiot.
Knudsen, I said to get out of my sight now.
I don't care where they're from. I just want some peanuts without any worms in them.
There ain't no worms. Welcome back to Naples, Florida. We're just wrapping up one more heat here. The V6 class.
And the night is only half gone, but there's still a whole lot to go, and a lot of great stuff has happened already.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty wild night here, I think. We've had some good things like Knudsen getting knocked silly. I kind of like that.
Pamela with the guitar, was that awesome? I mean, I want a still photo of that, man.
You know, and J. Claude joined us here and answered some of the questions that we needed answered, although he's still on your hiney just a little bit.
We're warming up to each other.
And Dave Burns, as I said earlier months ago, is a woman chasing hungry for lust human being, because obviously he did something right, because she's followed him to the swamp, Jack.
She's stalking the boy, man.
Stalking ain't the word for it. Yeah, in my day, I mean, there was a time where the talking would have been over already.
It's like getting a scent out in the swamp when you go hunting, huh? She's picked up a scent, and she's chasing him pretty hard. You know, let's go ahead and take a look at this race course here in the swamps that we've got. We want to show you what this mile of mud is all about.
What you really got to be careful is not get as close to the wall as that little toy car did just then, because that's where the mud is really deep. Here you can either go inside for the short way around or outside to try to carry some speed, but that doesn't work as well as it does on asphalt or dry dirt.
It's kind of a figure eight with an oval wrapped in. You make kind of a lap and a half around the place.
And it is never the same, not from race to race, but from lap to lap, because it's constantly changing with those tires digging up the bottom. And like I said, we don't even know what kind of debris is down there.
And the length of that checkered flag there on the graphic is about the length of the sippy hole.
Right there before you get to the pay window.
So you actually go through the sippy hole 3 times. You go through it as soon as you come off the starting line, you go through it. Then you come all the way around the corner and you go through it once that way. all the way down around the backstretch, and then one final time just before you cross the checkered.
I know we've done it before, but somebody is out there watching their first ever swamp buggy race from Naples, Florida, saying, what's the sippy hole?
Yeah.
Well, it goes back 40, 50 years when they first dug a big hole to really make it tough for the hunting buggies of the day to get through it. And there was an old boy named Morris, and Morris never one time got through that hole, not in years and years. So they affectionately named it after Morris, who was from Mississippi, hence the sippy hole.
That's some info that you can only find out of the breath of our living breed of Steve Evans.
Strange and boring swamp buggy facts, S&B, as I like to call it.
That was good. That people wonder why we call it the sippy hole. We didn't just make it up. That was the sippy hole. And
We've got some more Jeeps here,
Boy,
too, Stephen. Look at these guys fighting to get out there.
yeah.
Oh,
brother.
There is a Jeep you got to see to believe.
Oh, here we go. They got him pushed off a little bit.
This is ingenuity in action. All to get air into the carburetor and try to keep water out. All of the silicone that's all over these things would make a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon proud.
All of the silicone. Is that what you're saying?
All the electrical stuff is covered with silicone.
I won't even go there about Dave Burns in.
Your Formula One Jeep is out in this one, too, Steve.
Is he?
Yep.
There's a brand new Jeep that's debuted here today. We had a look at it over in the pits, Dave Reef and I, and if it's in this heat, I don't
There he is.
so.
Isn't that him right there closest to the flag now?
It is. I tell you, this thing is absolutely the nicest turned out Jeep we have ever seen in the swamp. We'll get a better picture of it for you.
Is this the one you were talking about?
Yeah, it's got an Indy car style shifter in it. It's got all kinds of high-tech instruments. It uses the PCV valve in the exhaust header to try to create vacuum in the pan, which seals the piston rings. It's got a Trick Hawley 4-barrel on an old 4-cylinder Jeep motor. I mean, this baby, they spent a little money on this, or they're very talented, or both.
Here's your lineup for this Jeep.
I don't know that it has a cutesy name.
Jessup Grown, that's, I believe, our F1 Jeep there. Evil and Wicked, Running Ragged, Mud Hog, Wet Willie, and Double Trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's find out how good that F1 Jeep is. It's all the way to the right side of your screen.
I'm not sure that's where he wanted to be, but I believe he's got enough performance. The first time out for this Jeep. He's tested it a little bit. This is the maiden voyage, and he surges into the lead.
He's trying to fight his way into the front, pushing and banging and shoving his way in, and he's going to lead him.
A huge, huge tidal wave from this half a dozen Jeeps.
He jumped out front right now. Can he hold it? Getting a little deeper down there now.
If they don't have any new car or new buggy blues with this machine, he is going to raise the bar, as they say, as far as Jeep competition is concerned.
You know what, Steve? He's got an awfully big air intake there on the front. How is he seeing around that thing?
I don't think he much cares about that. And look, it's turned around backwards. It's like a drag racing style air scoop turned around backwards. He doesn't care about any ram effect. He just wants the water out of it. And breathing is everything with these little motors. If you can get more air and more fuel mixed into them, they're just going to go a little bit faster.
He's pretty squirrely with it, too, isn't he? He's back and forth.
Not used to driving it. You got to see the shifter on it. Maybe Dave Reef or Burns will give a shot at that thing. He's going to win this, it looks like. Maybe we can see that.
She's putting smoke, too. See if she survives.
Well, that's what Steve says. Can he get all the bugs out of it? Wow.
It looks like a steam.
Oh, I think it might have blown a motor. Or he missed a gear. Or just got a little water into the intake, none of which is good.
He's into the sippy hole now. There's a guy in the sippy hole headed the wrong way over there, though. Stalled out.
Well, he's holding on to that lead so far, but he's got a lot of company behind him.
You know, and I bet they wondered, too, how long can he keep it up?
You know, they call that thing the secret weapon. Rick Johnson, that number 2 Jeep that's out in the lead. I think he's still in the lead. But that was pretty bizarre what came out of the stack, though. That didn't look good at all.
No, it didn't, Steve. And that's what you got to wonder about. Look, they're coming up alongside of him. They're going to pass him here.
I think he might have got a little water into that intake. Because that was steam coming out the pipe. That wasn't smoke. That was steam.
Well, he's giving the competitors a shower.
Oh, man, God. I'm telling you, you can't even see where you're going. Look like a hard driving rainstorm down here in South Florida.
You know, they've got a rule on ground clearance here, and he has really pushed that rule. That's about as tall as you can make one.
They're going to ride, they can ride right up into the back.
Look at this. He got a little nerf, little shot. They may not be spectacularly fast, but the Jeeps are so competitive.
Yeah. Oh, they've been the best racing of the night so far.
Oh, yeah, and the contact, they're animated. They're like little cartoon cars running around out there. Look at the spray off a secret weapon.
Well, he's headed home now. Let's see if he can hold them off.
Dream, he's got to make
a little more of that.
He's got to make one more
That's
run
smoke now.
Guys.
That's not just steam, and that's the same part of the race course.
Yeah, same place that it happened to him just a
You know what?
while ago.
Look at this. That's the fastest they go anywhere on the track, and the water was coming up to the Jeep and into that rear-facing scoop. But he's going to win it. Rick Johnson debut, or where is he?
I don't know. I don't know. Can he get out of it?
He got it. Checkered flag falls. So the F1 style Jeep, the trickest Jeep in the bog, looked pretty good. We'll be back to find out what happens next on Madness. Welcome back to Naples, Florida. Here is our Maylocks Minute. Larry Knudsen getting whacked by Pamela. Dropped him, hammered him, pounded him to submission. Now that's my kind of Maylocks Minute.
Boat wasn't even close on that one.
Oh, no, that was a runaway Maylocks Minute.
Yeah.
Swamp buggy racing here in Naples, Florida, and we get to watch Larry Knudsen get pounded. That's a good use of a guitar there.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, he got what was coming to him. You know what, guys? We have seen some of the stuff in Vegas, and when you go ahead and back and recap, me and Pamela out there just pulling on them one-arm bandits, having a big time. Butterscotch inside of a car said, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be sick. Jumped out and was running for the chapel. Thought he was going to marry somebody, be in a wedding. Well, if he's going to marry anybody, have to be in his family. Let's take a look at more Vegas stuff right now. You know, in Las Vegas, fortunes are won and lost, and we're here now, and the reason we're here is this little lady talking about luck be a lady tonight. Going to get me through the pay window. Right or wrong, darling?
Hi, rolling. Here we go.
Yeah, we're rolling right here. You know, and looking at all the confrontations and figurations that's going on here in Vegas, that Butterscotch, you know, was he getting on your nerves? He was starting just an edge on me just a little bit.
I think he's kind of amusing, you know? I kind of like him.
Call him funny. Speaking of funny, we better hit one of these or things gonna get real funny with TNN, because they only gave me so much of a budget.
Speaking of budget, you got another $50 I can feed this thing?
$50?
We're gonna own this place. By the time we leave, it's gonna be all
You know, I just
ours.
almost yelled for Butterscotch. You know, I kind of, you know, he was on my nerves, but I wonder where Butterscotch is now.
Who is that butterball guy? That
Butterball! You crazy
Butternut! Butternut!
Butterscotch, where are you?
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Well, I say love is a great big pile of horse apples, 'cause I've been left at the altar. And let me tell you something, I ain't putting up with it. I heard her say yes. Dusty Rhodes heard her say yes. Y'all heard her say yes when we was back there driving them little cars. And she has done breached a promise. Well, I tell you what, you don't do that where I come from. And I'll tell you what right now, these darn little flyers, the fallen petals bespeak the pain that's in my heart. And let me tell you something. Down there when we get to Naples, Florida, oh yeah, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to take care of business. This ain't over yet. Butterscotch Jackson don't take it lightly when he's besmirched. And that's it. I've had it. Goodbye, Las Vegas. You'll never see me again. That's it. Enough's enough, and I'm gone. Look out, Pamela Van Doren. I'm coming to get you. Ow!
He's coming to Naples. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Oh, you don't think he'll show his navel again, do you? Not that true.
I was thinking bonus points for getting out besmirched.
It feels kind of sorry for the guy, though, don't
big
you?
word.
Man.
You feel a little sorry for him?
Well, yeah, the shot of the guy in the back of the church.
Well, he ought to be glad Pamela could have hit him with a guitar, you know? Only his heart's broken. Knudsen's busted up all over.
Be smart. Welcome back to the Florida Swamps. And we get set to go racing with some more here. One more Jeep wrapping it up.
He was kind of stranded out there in the clubhouse turn.
Everybody else done finished and went to the house, and he was still trying to get his money's worth.
Let me tell you, on deck, the Pro Mods are back. The hottest thing in
big, really fast one, yeah.
And I think we're going to see the all-time world record holder for this particular course, and that's Aquarius 3. I think is going to be out in this heat, I do believe, Mike Fillmore, and that buggy flies.
Yeah, Rubber Duck and Aquarius will be up in here.
Yep. Match race with Rubber Duck?
Yeah.
Is that possible? That's what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rubber Duck gonna be out here, and we're all looking forward to seeing this next run. This being real madness out here at the Swamps. We've seen a little everything from Vegas to here to J. Claude sitting in over here with us, and Knudsen getting beat up with a guitar by Pamela Van Doren. I liked it.
You know who we haven't seen, and that is the current reigning king of the swamp. That's Eddie Chesser in his four-wheel drive. It's a Pro modified, but it's four-wheel drive, and it's an unbelievable machine. And he has one more on reliability than anything else. He's very, very quick, not quite as quick as Mike Fillmore, but, well, you'll see him in a bit. And that is the current reigning all-time dominant driver
yeah,
here at Naples.
He is definitely scheduled to be here tonight, so we'll get a chance to look at that and see what he's got in store for the guys here in the 1998 Swamp Buggy racing season.
In fact, he has won the last 4 out of 6 contests here on the Mile of Mud. And here we go, Pro Mods.
That's Aquarius that you saw moving in.
And there's Rubber Duck.
Rubber Duck looked good in his earlier run. You know what I mean? Really,
This is the first runoff for Pro Modified.
In the last 6 races here, only Terry Langford has been able to beat Eddie Chesser. Chesser's won 4. Rubber Duck.
You can hear how strong those motors are. Basically, almost like pro stock drag racing motors.
Yeah, not quite as liberal in the rules department and not nearly as expensive. They were getting to that point, and they just put the kibosh on it and had the guts to go backwards a little bit. And the buggies are not going as quick as they ever did. Lots and lots of horsepower means lots of heat. And as I said before, they are so loaded. It's like driving up a very steep hill. That's how much load is on these engines.
Well, if you want to see swamp buggies at their best, this is the class right here. They don't get any bigger, any quicker, any faster.
Yeah, there we go.
Look at how they just rock it right out of the starting gate.
Mike Fuller got a little too wide on the start. He didn't really want to be over there. He's trying to make it up. They coming down the inside. Look at this.
Well, if you get out of shape in a Jeep, it's one thing. You get out of shape in one of these, and it can be big problems in a hurry.
That's a nice look right there, guys. You talk about the madness coming to Motor Madness. Right here, a little high, almost right into the wall. Whoa, like a rocket.
Aquarius leading this one, and Rubber Duck has got all kinds of problems.
Well, he can't see through the roofs from Aquarius. He has to go wide or risk hurting himself crashing the buggy. This is a sensational ride.
And we got one upside down. Rubber Duck went upside down the backstretch. We said if you get into a problem with one of these, it's a big problem in a hurry, and it bit Rubber Duck. Look at that.
Now, these guys have an emergency air supply like
he's out.
Skin divers use.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, he got out of there quick, guys.
There is no safer buggy in this sport than Rubber Duck. I can tell you right now, everything is done right on that car. And there's Terry, yes.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm going to tell you what, guys. Let's take a look at this.
Watch this. He was running in the back of the pack there with just the 2 of them out there, and he got way wide down in 1 and 2 down here. And look at this. You can see it. There it goes. It's upside down and backwards.
And his face is in the water.
Yeah, his face is in the water, and his one thought is to go ahead and get unhooked and get out of there. I'm going to tell you what. That was madness to see him walk away from that thing right there. Yeah. Good job.
And you know what, Steve, we've seen enough accidents, you and I together, especially in sprint car racing where a guy gets upside down. But being upside down and then in the water, it's tough enough to get your balance and figure out where you are when you're upside down. Now you're upside down and you're underwater. You can't see things. It's murky. It's muddy. It's amazing he's able to get out that quick.
Safety crew did a fantastic job getting to him as quickly as they did. Again, Terry Langford is okay.
Motor Madness, brought to you by Just for Men, the leader in men's hair coloring. Blends away gray in 5 minutes. And by Honda Motorcycles, celebrating the dream during our 50-year anniversary.
We are back to the Florida Sports Park here in Naples, Florida. And we are on the western side of Florida, down in the very southern part of it. We were getting into the very fast mod class here, and boy, these guys are outrageously quick, and the Aquarius buggy is going to win this one, Steve, as we've got Rubber Duck upside down, and the driver of the Rubber Duck is out and okay.
It was good to see him get up and walk away from that thing, and I guarantee you we're trying to get cameras and people back there right now to see how he really is. The safety came into play, the safety factor, speed under the water for a long time. I guarantee you it was a good move. You see the safety guys rushing over there to get him out.
Let's take one more look at this and see if we can get an idea of what happened. He was coming through the turns closest to the pits. At this point, he's already upside down. You can see the rear end swinging around to the left side, and backwards he went and upside down he went. So he really got that thing sideways. Let's check in with Dave Reeves so we can find out some more about it.
Guys down here in the mess of safety crew workers are taking a look at Terry Langford. Terry, we're going to sneak in here and talk to you. Pretty mean accident there. What, are you okay?
I think so.
You got a lot of scared people down here. You feeling pain in any place at all?
A little stiff right now.
They're holding his neck. He's taking a good look at his arm here. We'll get an update on Terry Langford, who continues to get looked at over here, but he is okay. He does have a little bit of a smile on his face, guys.
Yeah, I'll bet he does.
Boy,
he's glad to be in as good a shape as he is.
Well, thank goodness for that, I guarantee you.
Yes, sir. And Mike Fillmore was as concerned as anybody to go up to the scene of that thing in the Aquarius buggy to see if he could help or to see how his pal was doing. But I tell you, he put the hurt on Terry there. He got him in that spray. Terry got lost out there and wouldn't lift, and that's what can happen.
Well, let me tell you something. I mean, this is what, these guys come out here for. They know what is at stake and what goes on. Hats off to them right here on Motor Madness.
Well, we talk a lot about how much fun we have here at the Swamps, but this unlimited buggy class is pretty serious stuff. Let's check in with Dave Burns.
Well, seeing the accident out on the track there brings to mind one of the sort of legends of the swamp here, Jack Goddard. He drives the Jumpin' Jack, and years ago, Jack, you got stuck out there, and I understand you kind of end up putting on a show for the people, right? What happened?
Well, I run the marathon race, and then I got stuck in the sippy hole over there, and I stood up on the front of the buggy and took and did a swan dive off the front, and they played flipper for me with it, so it was a lot of fun.
How'd the crowd like it?
Oh yeah, they loved it. They put me in the newspaper, the local newspaper, and on the news and stuff like that, and it was a lot of fun.
Hey, baby.
Bambi.
Hi.
What are you doing? Jack, I'm sorry. You are making me crazy.
Why?
What are you doing here? We're right in the middle of an interview. I can't believe it. I cannot. I'm done, Bambi. This is unbelievable what you're doing to me here. I mean, my career is in jeopardy because you're following me around every time you pop up everywhere. What is the deal?
It's her, isn't it? That chick from Miami.
Her who?
The one who stole my boyfriend. The one you were chasing around the whole time. It's her, isn't it? You want her, not me. You know what? You can't have her. You know why? This is all that's left of her.
I don't care. I do not care. Get rid of the hat. Then this scrapbook of me or whatever, this is not why we're here. This is not why we're here. I'm done. I mean, we're not here about scrapbooks and all this kind of thing. This is swamp buggy racing. What is going on here?
These are all our memories. Oh my goodness.
I think the banner in the background says it's all, huh? Madness.
Well,
my
I'm going to tell you what, Dave Burton. Hey, look. Look at this. Look who this is.
Incoming.
Butterscotch.
What is he riding? A girl's bike. Oh, the fans of it will be gone.
Oh, man, the Butterscotch has arrived in Naples, Florida. Looks like he's headed over towards your pit area.
Well, that's where Pamela's.
Man, and we know he ain't got his betrothed with him.
Oh.
He's down.
Oh, boy. No roll cage on those bikes.
He's a nut.
Was all morning long hanging around on the beach here in Naples, sunning his bod, getting some color in.
Rich widder women, a lot of rich widder women.
Yeah, I tell you what, guys, what a place to be down here in Florida. When we talked about coming to the Swamp Buggies, we have seen them so far tonight. We've seen some good things and really enjoyed the Jeeps because they really, like you said, not a lot of speed, but they kicked it in, and it was exciting and competitive. And as we move along, it's only going to get better.
Now, we have had some pretty unusual things as well. Now, we started off with Claude Dancer, who shows up.
Yeah,
and
it says the client may be here tonight.
Yeah, then we get Knudsen, who shows up, and I love the fact that he got hammered, first of all, as you see Claude here and his associate, about the only thing I can say there. But we get Knudsen, and then Claude, finally, we see something good out of him. Yeah. He rips into Knudsen. Then we watch Pamela rip into Knudsen. I loved that. The only
One more time.
You know, the only thing I would have loved about this would have been if it was a double neck guitar, she could have hit him twice.
Yeah, I tell you, she tried to. Then she tried to stomp a hole in him right here, a big old mud hole.
Man.
That wasn't her best Gibson either.
That's a mean guitar playing right there. Then
there's more.
That's enough. Then we get Dave Burns, who's got this stalker now, running all. Did you see that book of stuff she had on him?
Bambi is wild for Burns.
And the thing about Dave, he acts like nothing's going on. And then I knew when he was down in Miami something was going on. And then, you know, one of the saddest pictures of the night as we seen that chapel of these wonderful people be wedding each other, go ahead and getting into the marriage frame and sitting on the back pew, way in the back on the back pew with old Butterscotch throwing his flowers down, saying my heart, my blood runs down through these flowers. And I guarantee he said he was coming to Naples. We seen him come in.
Right in front of us, right across here.
On a woman's bicycle headed for the piano.
Well, wait a minute. How would you like to start your marriage? You know, here, the biggest day of your life, you're getting married, you're already nervous and everything, and this maniac is sitting in the back row.
Who was at your wedding? Well, there's a guy in the back.
Yeah, Mom, Dad, Uncle Joe, and Aunt Jean are there, and then I have this maniac in the back row.
What'd you think of that, J. Claude?
Gentlemen, let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of mania here, and I apologize to some of you here. I had no idea that it had gotten quite this out of hand. Obviously, I should have given some of you my phone number. I did not do that, and I apologize.
Stick around. It gets better. It usually does.
That's what I'm kind of afraid of, and that's why I haven't left here. I was actually supposed to catch an airplane out of here, and I'm going to hang, if you don't mind, just maybe some to help out and just some for the entertainment value.
But think of the mood that Butterscotch is in.
Are you doing hang?
Well,
are you going to hang? Are you going to hang, Steve?
It's a legal term.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Ben Matlock sitting at the desk with us.
Well, we have one more piece of news, and that is the fact that they are clearing the track now. Everything seems to be okay with Terry Langford and the incident with the rubber duck. When we get back, we're going racing again.
Work this out. We might be able to work it out, but you know, it's just so confusing to me.
Dave,
it just came so fast,
Dave,
and all of a sudden you were there. So
you know we can work it out.
Well, it's just it's so new to me, and I can't.
Hey. Dave Burns, I don't care for what you're doing either, man.
Who is this?
I don't like it. You're doing a lousy job. You hold the microphone like a sissy. Your head's bobbing around like you don't even know what day it is. You got to show some hustle, man. Some hustle. When there's a wreck over there, when there's a wreck over there, you need to cover the wreck, not stand up here and lollygag with some bimbo, all right?
Thanks a lot.
Don't mess with my boyfriend. Don't mess with my boyfriend. Listen, guys, he's all mine. I don't care what you say. What do you think you are? Huh? What do you think you are? He's my friend.
She stands by her man, even if it's not really her man.
Yeah, she thinks
he's got himself a woman there.
Yeah, he better second guess that. You know what I mean? He better think just a little bit about that.
I can't wait to hear what Dave. I know Dave's parents, and I can't wait to see their reaction when Dave brings her home to meet Mom and Dad.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, look at him.
She's still going
at it. She's a whipping. Here's a hiney right here. I guarantee you.
I'll tell you.
And barefooted. She's barefooted now. That's Florida.
You know, I'm almost starting to feel. No, forget it. I'm not feeling sorry for Knudsen. I was starting to think he got whooped up by Pamela, and then, you know, Bambi over here, but no.
Well, what about poor Butterscotch? When he finds Pamela, she's swinging a guitar.
Well, we ought to let Butterscotch take out some of his frustrations on Knudsen. Everybody else is. Why not?
The human punching bag just put a swivel in his head.
You know,
man, did you see that shot?
She just came out of nowhere.
Ralph, you might have hit on something. Butterscotch want to get married. Imagine taking her in the chapel right here.
Hey, I wonder if this will change Burns' opinion about Bambi? Huh? She came to his...
I'll tell you what, I can tell you who's going to... Look at Knudsen.
Look at Knudsen.
Oh, no, there's a pretty picture. I like it. That's the best look I've seen on him yet.
Oh, man.
Oh, look at here. Here we go.
Oh. Well, son of a sailor, right there for you Jimmy Buffett fans.
Yeah, son of a sailor.
Clutch burn right here on this one. Got him a little sponsor.
Son of a sailor.
Yeah, got him a little sponsor.
Give me a free clutch if I can get that number out. All right, these are the 4-cylinder. They're big old buggies that you could put just about anything in. They might not be strong enough for certainly a pro mod, but you could put a stock V8 or a 6. But a lot of guys like to mess around with 4-cylinder motors, and here's a chance to do it. And they run in their own class with their own trophies and their own piece of the purse.
Okay,
hey, Dave Reeve, how is Terry Langford?
Well, we had a chance to talk with him and his wife, Teresa, before the Collier EMS department decided discretion the better part of value, better safe than sorry. They have taken him into the Naples Community Hospital just to check him over. The thing they're probably most concerned with, a couple years ago, Terry flipped it over, broken arm, quite possibly got that same arm again.
Well, he said it is very serious. We have a lot of fun down here at the Swamps, and we joke a lot about the Sippy Hole, and, you know, it's a long way from the Daytona 500, but it is very, very, very serious racing as fast as these guys are going. Miller Lite News and Notes.
I'll tell you what, they both went in there kind of slow, getting into the Sippy Hole. Now trying to turn it on. Motor Madness. It's a Friday night down here in Naples, Florida.
That's your Prime Star 500 qualifying from Atlanta that you're seeing with our Miller Lite News and Notes. Kenny Wallace back to the 24th. They're going to be battling rain and wet weather and cold temperatures out of Atlanta.
Now, the motors in these little buggies could be a variety of things. Old Pinto engines. They could be the Iron Duke 4-banger that Chevy made out of half of a V8 for many, many years. All kinds of different marine applications, 4-cylinder engines out of boats. Virtually about anything goes here as long as it has sport park plugs.
I tell you what, guys, it's amazing to me, too, the knowledge that both Shaheen and Steve have about these motors and engines, and some of them 50 years old, Steve said, or hadn't been changed in 50. It's amazing right here.
Well, the first time they ran down here, Steve, was what, 1949?
1949. Jimmy Jones, I believe, won that race.
There's Ladybug running along in second place in this one.
Johnny Jones.
Yeah, I thought Ladybug was going to get up there and challenge just a little bit, but bogged down in the Sippy Hole. Still running, though.
They have really figured out how to protect these engines from the moisture, and that is just, you know, the deadly enemy in the swamp, because we just don't hear them dropping cylinders, Ralph, like we have in the past years. I mean, everybody seems to be running cleaner.
And cleaner means quicker.
That's right.
And that's why we're saying this thing gets more and more serious every year, because the speeds around here are pretty amazing.
What a great class this is to get your feet wet, all things attended, in swamp buggy racing.
Well, he's holding on to the lead right here, trying to get him a victory, get to the paint window.
Son of a Sailor is going to take the checkered flag here and the win. And Ladybug will power on through the Sippy Hole for one final time.
She just about made it all the way through right then.
And close this one out.
Well, she finished second. That was 2 a minute.
See that wave to the camera? She's having fun.
Yeah, man.
Tricia have.
Now, Son of a Sailor will go to probably the little feature, depending on the mood.
He'll move on, right?
He'll move on into a thing where he's combined with other class winners.
Well, let's check in the pit area with Dave Reed.
Well, we're going to try to track down son of a sailor. I'll bet he's a big Jimmy Buffett fan. Let's find out as he brings the old 4-cylinder in. I'm guessing you're a big Jimmy Buffett fan by the name of this car.
Yeah. This one's for Joe Smith, the father that owns the car.
Joe Smith, the father that owns the car. How come he's not here tonight?
He's very sick, very sick. I'm just filling in for his son. But this is for Joe Smith.
Very nice job.
Well, Son of a Sailor, dream going to the
hay window right here in the swamps in Naples, Florida.
the flame belching out of Ladybug there.
You know, there's a lot of family orientated in this sport right here. You know, if somebody don't show, if somebody be feeling bad, you know, all our shut-in friends, we're going to send our best wishes out there to you. We love you right here on Motor Madness, but but you know, it's just got to it's be a family deal. Somebody steps in for him.
Well, somebody who's become a family member of the TNN Motor Madness gang this year is Pamela Van Doren.
All right. Woo! Pamela Van Doren with a party in the pits, and what a party it has been. I don't know, though. I don't think these weenies got quite done before the coals went out. What do you... Oh, my mistake. They did get done. They're done. I don't know if you saw... Of course you saw it. But we had some serious action here. I mean, my beautiful mud pit is just completely destroyed. That crazy woman destroyed it. And look at my pool. There goes my swim, you know? But nonetheless, we've had an incredible time tonight. And I just cannot wait until the next round of Swamp Buggies. Hey, where's my music? Let's check it out. Let's turn it out.
Well, we're set to go racing once again. We got another onboard camera ready to go for you. This will be V8 Super Stock. We got Texas Law. You'll know something about that, Dream.
I'm telling you, I ran from it.
Fatal Attraction. Burns knows something about that. And Scrap Iron. I don't know who knows anything about that. I'm home, but it's not me.
Butterscotch, probably.
Butterscotch, yep.
Oh, you're on tonight, Shaheen. That was cool.
Well, this ought to be a great matchup right here. These guys going to be quick, I think, Steve.
Jimmy Joy and Texas Law, number 132. That is one to seriously watch. Maybe the most experienced driver in this particular heat. Scrap Iron, that's Mike Kaczynski.
And the guy on the far side right here is...
that's Scrap Iron right
That's
there.
Scrap Iron, yeah. Who's on board with us here?
Texas Law, I believe.
All right, that's good. They're getting staged now. Everybody hold on, take a deep seat.
And a far away look.
We sound like the June Taylor Dance, the Lennon sisters.
Yeah, we sound like somebody.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, that Collier machine coming from the outside, the blue machine, left side of your screen. He's going to have the inside when we hit the curve. Got him.
That's the place to be.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Talk about using the cushion. That's a motocross use of the berm there.
Yep, that's right in the bank.
Look at that. Out he goes.
Watch out.
Oh, big crash on the front straightaway. The motor was still running. The rear wheel, the drive wheels were still spinning. That crash started.
He's
look,
waving.
He's waving. He is all right.
Look on the backside.
And the leader goes over almost.
Almost, but not quite.
I'm going to say it again, Steve. We've talked about how they have advanced these machines and got these things quicker and quicker, and they get wilder and wilder and harder to control. These are some serious racing machines. Look at our onboard camera facing the wrong way.
This is madness here. It was good to see him wave, though. There he comes, stepping out.
Who was it that you said is going to shoot that thing?
Oh, I'm telling you, somebody.
She's screaming and howling now.
Yeah, that's that voodoo witch out there. Man, everybody shut down. He's all right, looks like.
Let's take a look at this. You can see the emergency shutoff valves being taken. He was trying to utilize this bank thing, Steve, and there it worked. And I guess he thought, well, that was a pretty good trick.
I'm not sure he did that on purpose, and he may have damaged the buggy in the process up on the bank. Now he gets a face full of pretty icky water.
But look at him turning, and it's just pushing straight. You see that?
Yep.
You see, he was turning the wheel to the right and had and it just collapsed from there. He's lucky he didn't really go blasting through that metal fencing there.
He was headed for us, I guarantee it.
Here's the very last
he wasn't trying, Steve. Look at that. He had the wheels. He was trying to turn them.
But he wasn't lifting either.
No.
Oh, and then he got that left front wheel when he came back over the wall into the course.
Now watch this. As the red flag comes out, now watch our leader. Look at this. This is on the backstretch. Big problem.
Oh, man. Yeah, well,
look at the left front suspension collapse right there.
Yep.
Yeah, it shut down on him right there. Man, I'm telling you, you talk about the madness that's going on here in Naples. This is it right here. Good to see him get out, though, guys. That could have been very, very dangerous.
Oh, they're traveling at serious speed to those big sweeping turns.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
he's all right.
All those drivers are okay. Well, knowing the fact that these guys are okay, that means we're going to do a little bit of cleaning up over there. So let's check in with Pamela one more time in the pits.
Woo! Pamela Van Doren here once again from the
You scorned me. You scorned me. After you accepted my proposal of marriage, after we was driving them little old cars in Las Vegas, and I heard you say yes, you accepted. I run off down to that wedding chapel and set everything up first. I had you a nice bouquet of flowers. They is all set to play theme from Ice Castles when you walk down the aisle. And furthermore, and on top of that, I had us 2 tickets to go see Falana Mania, a tribute to Lola Falana at the Safari Motor Lodge. But we didn't get to do none of it, because you left me standing at the altar. And I have come clean across the country, riding my thumb, until I was able to wrestle that bicycle away from a 12-year-old girl in Opelika, Alabama. I've come here to ask you one question, Miss Pamela, and one question only. Why? Why did you do it? Tell me.
Oh.
Tell me.
Now, come on, Scotchy. Butterbean, come on. Now, you know I wouldn't. Don't you know that? I would not intentionally mislead you and break your heart. I wouldn't even do that to you. I mean, you know, this is not your fault. This is not my fault. You know whose fault this is?
Oh, tell me then.
This is the fault of Larry Knudsen. Larry Knudsen. He's the one to blame. That guy has got me all riled up. You know, he's calling me all the time. And, you know...
He's calling you?
Oh, yeah, constantly. He's harassing me. In fact, you know what he told me? He told me that my job may be threatened if I weren't nice to him. I guess we know what that means. It's all his fault.
He said that to you?
He's the one. He's the one.
Kill him! No shot! No shot!
Alrighty then.
Oh.
Bye-bye.
I thought Knudsen was having a bad day. Yeah. Oh, my. Oh, I don't want to miss
there
this.
Goes.
Don't miss this. Could be good. I'm not kidding you. The buggy is named Scrap Iron.
So, and that's what it is right now.
Look at the thing came apart like an Indy car. You know how an Indy car, when it hits the wall, it's made to explode and send all that stuff away. To look at that thing. Then it basically crashed like an Indy car. I mean, that is a serious wreck. Watch the wheels come off and the front suspension collapse.
It's bad now, but it's going to get worse. And he is not lifting from what I can see.
No, there's a lot of courage in that boy.
Now he'll get up and scrape that left front wheel off.
Because he had to know when he went into the corner, it ain't going to turn now. It did turn at the last corner. What made you think it's going to turn at the next one, right?
Boy, look at this, guys.
Oh, man. Look at this. Oh, wheels collapse. Nose first, right back into the hole.
Well, you're right there. I mean, just blew apart right the front end of it.
Well, unlike Terry Langford, though, he stayed right side up, and that's when they're really scary. It's when the driver is submerged in the murky depths.
Well, Scrap Iron is just that, Dave Reef.
He is. Ralph Thomas was quick to get out. Not too bad for the wear, but looked like the darn thing wouldn't turn. What was it like from your perspective?
Well, it wouldn't turn. The throttle got stuck going down the first turn there. And when I went up in the banks, I just got it back down, and I thought I could, just keep going. And
obviously you're okay, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
How many times do you think you went over in that little scenario there?
I don't know. My head just going around everywhere.
Well, it'll have a tendency to do that when your throttle sticks, guys, but Phil's okay.
Yeah.
Well, there is not a whole lot you can do when the throttle sticks. You just got to ride it out and hang on. And that's why he never lifted, Steve. He had that throttle bearing, and it wasn't coming back.
That's right. He couldn't
coming back, though, to the swamp.